Welcome back to another episode of the Resellers Mindset Podcast. My name is Mike, also known as the Used Book Guy on YouTube, along with my friend and fellow full-time reseller, Johnny B. We help people start and grow their reselling businesses from the ground up. We also have a weekly Zoom call and private Discord for all YouTube members. Head on over to youtube.com/usedbookguy to join the channel and gain access to the full-length podcast, Zoom call, and private Discord today. Let's get into this week's episode.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode, Resellers Mindset Podcast. Mike next to Johnny. I got the topic today, so I'm going to be swinging first here for the fences. The little things that can easily drag you down or make you a whole lot more money. And in reselling, I feel like there is an endless supply of little things. And being somebody that has a YouTube community, I feel like new little things pop up all the time. It's like, oh, somebody's doing this little thing, and should I do this little thing? Or somebody's doing this little thing, and there's always a new little thing. And I'm against little things, dude. I don't know what it is with the idea, and I don't even think it's short-sighted of me to be like, hey, do as little as you can if you get the result you want to get, the desired outcome. But man, there is so many, and I'm guilty. I think when we
I got
start,
like 20. I'm ready to list them.
I think when we start, you feel like it's your newborn baby, right? Your first child, and the little things are there because you want to be the perfect reseller. I think you have to evolve out of that at the speed of light because it's going to sink you. And I know some of the little things a lot of you do out there. There ain't no chance I'm doing any of them. So I don't know, dude. What's your take on all the little things?
They're bullshit and stop doing them, please and thank you. Okay. You're right. When you're starting out, you micro analyze, micromanage, micro everything. No, you're gonna get the basics. You're gonna go wide and broad. You're not gonna micro analyze. You're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it wrong the first time. You're gonna do it better the second time, et cetera, until okay, I've reached the end of my getting better. Maybe now I need to do some research. Yes, that's the play. There's too many of you spending haven't even started yet because you need to get everything right on paper. You need to paper project this together with a business plan. And I'm telling you, that business plan is going to go out the window once you're in the thick of it. Like, your standing opera procedures that you have bullet point after indent secondary bullet point. Now we're down to the Roman numeral bullet point. It's going to go out the window. I'm not saying these things are bad to have. They are great to have, but I think you need to do it for a minute before you even put pen to paper on that kind of stuff. So if you're watching, I don't know, 30 hours of YouTube a week of reseller content, well, one, bless you, and the YouTuber community thanks you for your service, and they're the ones making the money. But you need to trim that back, dial it down a tone, and only do the research on what you need at the moment. There's too many of you watching untold hours of YouTube content, and it's not all great. And a lot of it's conflicting toward what one person said. Unlist, relist. No, don't do that. It doesn't work. Who cares? I don't care. When that's a problem, maybe then you need to deal with it. But it's not a problem right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, Johnny, I'm gonna see this from the person that does little things perspective, right?
Okay.
Um, they look at somebody like me. I'll use me instead of you as an example, even though I could just switch, They look at you instead of me and they say, well, I like to put extra care and extra detail into everything I do. And I understand that, right? I understand, especially in the realm that I deal in books, right? Books are precious, right? A lot of people that sell books are huge readers. They care about the books. I am the complete opposite. So I know for a fact that I grind gears because I don't do nothing, right? I don't clean the books. I flip through the books, I throw a sticker on them, throw them in a box, out the door, same condition every single time. Even in my eBay business, right? Like I just put things in a poly mailer, put books in a poly mailer, Mike. You are committing crimes against humanity. And I'm like, I don't like it never occurs to me that I should, I don't know, put extra care into something because that takes more time away from me. And if it's not required, then why should we do it? But the other side to that coin is, well, don't you care about the people getting the items? You don't care about the items you're selling? And I guess I would say, not really. I really don't. Like, I don't care about the book I'm selling. I'm just throwing it in a poly mailer and shipping it out.
There's several things to unpack here, and I'm glad you brought this up early because this may take me a minute to get through. So there is Amazon and eBay expectations, your expectations, and the customer's expectations. And in all actuality, in my opinion, the base is the platform's expectations. That's really the only thing at the end of the day that matters. However, I do think there's something to be said for customer and personal expectations. So there needs to be some clever Venn diagram of where they all overlap, and that's what you need to do. Like me, I don't have to put a book description, but my books are stupidly obscure and you can't really tell what they're about unless you do. So a customer stumbling upon my listing for the very first time, unless they're a collector, they're not going to know what the book's about. So I think I need to put a description. Could I get a lot more work done if I drop the description? 100%. But I think it's important to increase sell-through rate, which is my expectation. I want them to sell through. It has nothing to do with eBay. Helps the customer, and helps me because I care about money. Customer wants to buy a book, but needs to know what book about. Also, photos. I think there's a certain level of expectation there when it comes to books, at least the front and back and all four sides, minimum. Go above and beyond that, fantastic. But that affects, well, the platform's expectations, my expectation of it selling, the customer's expectation of knowing what the book looks like so they don't get it and go, ew, gross, trash, and negative feedback. Amazon is a lot more forgiving. I've been using eBay examples. I don't know if condition really matters on Amazon. I don't think it does. However, I don't want a lot of returns. I want to keep the money Amazon's giving me, so I can't have a ungodly return rate. I can't be sending in books that have been in fire or under a flood. I know that. I could, but it's not worth it. And the expectations, you could just drown in that. Like the whole topic of this, you could just drown on that. Like the wiping it down, the heat gunning the stickers, or using Goo Gone or other products to remove stickers, and or going through every single page. There's some people out there that do this to make sure there's no writing anywhere on any page. Or even better yet, if it's in pencil, they'll take the time to erase it. I can't even say God bless you on that one. That's a fool's errand, in my opinion. That is a fool's errand. You need to put that bet back or sell it as is, honestly.
I think for me, I don't know. When I started different, categories, I started CDs, DVDs, after books. I had all these little things I was doing, and I want no little things, Johnny. I want no little things. I want no little cards I have to put in the packaging. I want no bubble wrapping of any product I ever sell. I am fully against little things. I realize this. I hate little things, and I want no little things in my business because I just see it as, if it's not required or necessary, like you said, then why are we wasting time on it? And the argument to that is, well, the customer experience. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be straight
That's
up.
a little bit of a priority, in my opinion, versus the overall platform priority.
Yeah, like the return rate, it's going to be non-existent in this business, and we're selling used items, so we can just list it again and sell it again, right? I mean, if you're selling new items, but then again, it's brand new, right? So the expectation is that it's brand new. I think we get way too caught up, especially in Amazon land. Holy smokes. I mean, we've said it for years now. You don't even need condition notes on Amazon. It does not matter. I mean, anybody listen to this, when you've ever bought something on Amazon, do you even know where to find the condition note?
No,
And there's people
I
out there
still
just
don't.
people still take photos for their Amazon listings. And the tender loving care, I give you the first month with your newborn reselling business, right? You can cradle it like the baby it is because it's brand new, and you can do all the little extra things. But this idea, I mean, even in eBay land, right? I'm going to pack mine in tissue paper, tie a little bow with some string. I think it's a falsehood that if you take care of this customer to the thousandth degree, that they're going to come back and buy from you. The amount of return customers on these platforms is a small number, and the people that are doing it have huge inventory. So you, as the person that's got 5,000 listings on eBay, the chance of somebody coming back and buying from you again because of the bow, the tissue wrap, it's zero. And sure, maybe you feel good about yourself because you really took care of that product. You really wrapped it up. You put it in 3 boxes inside of 3 boxes. And I'm here to tell you, polybag, fold it over, throw it in the car. I'm out the door. I'm going to be on the beach by noon, sun tanning, drinking mimosas, and you're still going to be sitting there tying up your little package. For me, I've realized this. It don't matter. If it's not required, I ain't doing it. And maybe that's a shitty way to look at it, but it's not like I do bad quality work. It's not like I'm sending in bad quality items. It all meets the guidelines, right? I'm not sending in the water damage stuff. I'm not trying to pull one over on anybody. But at the end of the day, it's not like you get a bonus at the end of the year, right? It's not like you got 100% feedback. You're going to get a bonus, right? Like it doesn't exist. So you're just trading your time for, I guess, this feel good mentality when my feel good mentality is selling more items and actually getting money into my bank account.
What's up, Amazon sellers? We wanted to take a second to talk about GoToLister, the software me and Johnny both use to list and manage our inventory and grow our businesses. With the fastest listing speeds out there and built-in profit analytics, it's a no-brainer. Easily and quickly have items available for sale using 2D barcodes and get more for your items with its built-in smart pricing. Make sure to check out the 30-day free trial at gotolister.com/Mike or using the link in the description below.
Now, I want to say this because this is important. When you're first starting, you don't got much to do other than source and list. So when you do get a sale, and again, I'm speaking from an eBay or any store it and ship it yourself operation, no matter the platform, you can take all the extra time in the world to put butcher or craft paper on it, tie it in a bow, Christmas present, wrap it, put all the danger, do not bend, destroy, whatever stickers you want on it, toss some glitter on it, put some chocolates in the box. But I'm telling you, later on, when you got 100 of them to do, you ain't got time for any of that fancy stuff anymore. So with scalability and success, we'll call it success, you got to do a little bit of give and take, and there's a lot more giving than there is taking for yourself at that point. Like the bow nonsense, the butcher paper, that goes. You've streamlined it. It's in a poly. Pull off the self-seal, seal it, print the label, ship it. Done.
No reseller in the history of reselling ever made it because they put bows and they did all this little extra crap and they put candies or they triple box their items. No resellers ever become successful because of that type of stuff. People become successful because they get their processes refined and they get as much done in a little bit amount of time as they possibly can, because that allows them to scale their business and list more items, sell more items, pack more items, ship more items. That is how this works. But like Johnny said, in the beginning, we give you guys all a pass, right? But the problem is people hang on to this stuff, Johnny, and
it's ingrained in them. I've done it since the beginning. I will do it till the day I die.
It's tough, man, because I know a lot of people that listen to this, especially the book selling world, they really care for the items. And I don't want to it's not to offend people. I'm not trying to tell you that it's stupid, right? I'm not sitting here telling you that it's completely idiotic that you do this. I understand a lot of you love and care the items that you sell and you want to take it to the customer in the best possible condition. But for me, I just look at it as a business, a dollars. I don't look at it as books, CDs, DVDs. I just see it as dollars. And sure, some of the dollars get returned, but then I can just resell those dollars again. So my perspective is a lot different than a lot of people that are in this category. So I think it kind of throws them for a whirl when I say, yeah, I just put a book in a poly mailer. And you're like, you should never put a book in a poly mailer or like a DVD just in a bubble mailer, right? We had the ongoing joke forever with Eric. He's one of the members over in the Discord. And he would always put his bubble mailer and he had those do not bend stickers, right?
He got those ideas. I still put those on mine, but he got that from me. He's like game changer. And he was so much more excited about it than I have ever been. And I love Eric, but he's like, This is what I will do
It
till the end of
became like the
time.
meme of the group. So like whenever he had an FBM order, he would literally post a picture of the "Do Not Bend" sticker because like he knew that I would never would do it, and I just think he's asinine for doing it. But like,
99% of merchant fulfilled sellers are not going to do that, but he is, and he's going the extra mile. I don't know if that helps his feedback. If his feedback is full of 5 stars, these do not bend stickers are the most amazing thing ever. He's won the game. He's won the Amazon game if it's stickers that win.
but I would argue, dude, who cares about feedback? I don't think feedback matters no more. I,
Not
I
with the auto get rid of it button.
even without it, I mean, who cares? It's not like you're going to lose your account. It's not like you're going to get super penal. I mean, yeah, if it's an FBM order, you get dinged and you only have a few feedback.
Even go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I think
On
feedback's like a
left
feel good thing.
on left-hand navigation, I've shopped on Amazon. I will search for the 5 star and higher. There's never a left hand that I've noticed. I may be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Of seller above X rating on left-hand navigation. I
No, they
don't
don't
think
give
it's
a
a
shit.
thing.
No, they just want
I
their
care
stuff to
about
sell.
price. I care about 5 star reviews when I'm a shopper.
All right, so the question is, if you put maybe here's the conundrum we have, right? Me and you sell the same item,
Mhm.
but in your description, your photos, you got the fancy little tissue wrap shown, maybe the little piece of candy or the nice packaging, or you put that it's guaranteed to ship in a box. And we have the same exact item, and mine it just says, it's going to ship in a poly mailer. I still think, dude, that people want it at the cheapest price. I think if you charge more than me for that same exact item just because you put all the fancy, like, oh, it's going to ship in a box and here's what it's look like when it's going to ship. It's going to get to you in perfect condition. But you charge $1 more than me, I still think I'll die on this hill that people want the cheapest they possibly can get that item for, and they don't care about all that extra stuff.
Now, here's where I will slightly counter argue, even though I agree with you. My listing comparison, even on same price, and I'm priced higher, so not same price really. If I've done more photos, I've done more item specifics, and I put in a description, even though I charge up for that. I tend to get the sale in a non-saturated environment because my books I sell on eBay are
No,
non-saturated.
our descriptions are the same. The only difference you have is you have an extra photo and an extra 2 lines in your description that says it will ship in a box and it will come with I don't know, whatever you want to do. You handwrite a poem or put a piece of candy in
Yeah,
there.
in that situation, price is king. But if there's only 2 copies, and here's the thing, there's that perception in the shopper's mind of getting scammed, getting their item ruined. But if I've shown more in my listing than yours, I think I may get the sale over you. Uh, X% of the time, not
Yeah.
100% of the time. Another thing I also want to counter our whole discussion here a little bit. If you sell $100 plus items or $1,000 plus items, there is a slight expectation you take a little extra care than your generic 20, 30, $40 item, honestly. I know Caleb from Antique Book Collectors. He listens to our podcast. We watch his stuff all the time. He does take the time to use proper book mailing boxes and book butcher paper. And he slaps a little sticker on there as well. But that's he sells high end items, honestly, versus us, we don't. We sell low margin things or multi quant. We're hoping for the multi quantity orders, and it's literally pull it, ship it, forget about it.
Trying to think, how much money would I have to sell something for to put it in a box? I don't know,
Hundred
dude.
bucks? Would you
Yeah,
do
I
it for
guess
hundred
so.
bucks?
I guess
Okay.
so. Only because I already have the boxes. I already have the boxes at the storage unit. If I didn't have the boxes, right, and I had to like, I don't know, try to reuse an Amazon box from something we bought or like actually go somewhere to get a box, nah, it ain't
And
happening.
let me plant this because people have different business models who are listening to us. So if you were selling nothing but $100 plus items, and you're an eBay seller in this scenario, and you're selling 5 a day, would you buy boxes for all of your inventory to ship with?
At that volume, I probably would.
Yeah.
But then I don't think it's a little thing anymore because that's a big part of your business
Right. It's the core of your business. You're selling five $100 items every day, and
that are fragile.
that are fragile. Exactly. Because the stuff, like we were saying, Caleb sells, those things are fragile. They'll break on you if you bend it funny.
Yeah, I think at that point though, it's not a little thing, right? I think that's a big part of your business is to keep your product safe. It's kind of like the people that sell glass, right? Like they can't ship that in polymailers, but like
You know?
you're selling sneakers or like a used shirt. Like, why are we tissue wrapping? Why are we, putting all this nonsense in there? Why are we putting 35 business cards in there? Why are we spending money on this? Just I think we get so lost with this little shit. If we just did away with it, you would be like, man, I got a bunch of free time, right? Like, why am I playing the little games that you don't have to play? It takes up a lot of mental real estate when you got to worry about every little thing, right? And Deb grew her own brand. And there's little things you have to do, right? You need the nice business cards to go in every single thing. But even that, it's all laid out in a way that makes sense. It's not like, oh, I got to go grab this. I got to go over here and grab this. And I got to grab this. I mean, the little things, and we waste time on them, right? Because people take photos and we get into the photo, I'm going to take at least 12 photos. Well, if you really only need 4 or 6 photos, right? And you're just taking 12 just to take 12 because that's your thing. All my listings got to have 12 photos. Yet again, here we are. I mean, you're listing a remote. Do we need 12 photos for the remote? No, we do
You
not.
unscrewing it and taking photos of the circuit board?
It's me sitting back using it, flipping, turning up unsolved mysteries on the TV. It's that type of stuff, right? The little things that just have no correlation. You just do it because, oh, I got to do it. In your mind, you think you got to do it, when in actuality, you don't.
What's another little thing outside of shipping and listing that gets on my nerves? Oh, Excel Math Millionaire. I've seen sellers who are full-time, part-time. They'll spend hours and hours and hours mathing out equations and stuff. And and it's not just on one thing, it's on a lot of things because they're what I call thinkers. And they need to think it out and they need to see it as well. And Excel helps them at least see the number side of it. But they can't account for the bajillion variables that affect that Excel sheet that will occur until they actually do it. But they need to know before they execute that, at least on paper, without knowing the outlying variables, this works. Then they'll go forward and proceed. Me, I'd be like, well, it sounds good. Let's do it. I don't need to Excel sheet it out, honestly. Um, or how many people I'm probably guilty of this one. I've done it a couple times. How many people have set down, okay, my average box shipment is worth this. How many do I need to ship a year before I'm clearing $1 million in potential profit? I'm
Yeah,
guilty
but
of
I mean,
that's
that's
fun, right? But
that,
it doesn't really
yeah,
do anything for us. No.
that's true. I think another thing we get carried away with is like you said, these people that I don't know, they do too much, right? So like they put into a spreadsheet, the day they listed the item and how much they listed it for, and they track everything down to a penny. When I'm here to tell you, there's software that takes care of this stuff. I mean, yes, there is something, I'm 100%. You write something down, maybe if you type something out, it'll be better in your mind, but why do we have to do it, right? Like even in eBay land now, there's like, software where you can import all your sales data when it comes to your bookkeeping and all this type of stuff. I think you have to work smarter, not harder. And you might feel like, I think these are the people that feel like they're working 60 hours a week reselling, but they're making no damn money, Johnny. They're doing 20K a year in sales, 30K a year in sales, working, 60 hours a week. Like, that's not it. I'm here to tell you. Unfortunately, if you fall into that category right here, right now, and you're working 40 plus hours a week and your sales a year are only like $50,000, I would even argue even, $100,000, like something needs to change. You are wasting a whole bunch of time somewhere. And I guarantee you, 50% of the things you cut out are going to be the little things, if not more, that you all of a sudden realize, okay, I could care less about this. What real impact does this have on the business of me going nuts and going over to the Excel sheet and typing in, the Dansko shoes that will haunt me to the end of my eBay selling times and typing in the day I listed them when there's software where we can import this data over. We got to get out of this nonsensical mind of just, well, this is how I've been doing it. This is how I'd like to do it. Well, hey,
Let me
more power to you. If you're the person that wants to work 40 hours a week and do 50K in sales a year, more power to you. But I'm here to tell you, your potential is 10x what that is if you just stopped out with all the nonsense.
right. There's something for said for doing it yourself. I get it. Um, There's also the software, and there's also bookkeepers who will manage the software for you. You just send receipts more or less, or import what they need when they need it. I got an analogy, and I hate analogies personally, but I want to give one anyway. I could mow my lawn every week, but I don't. I pay some person to do it because I got better things to do it, and I get no personal fulfillment. Some people do, and they want to do that. I get no personal fulfillment of mowing my own lawn. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. I hate grass. Grass is stupid. If it were up to me and the homeowners association would get after me, I would turn it into sand. But
So the analogy to that is Mike buys his first home. That grass is his baby, dude. I'm out there, the
if you get
sun's
the pleasure
shining.
aspect out of it, Mike, go for it.
I got
You'll
the
do
big
that for
grin on
two
my.
years, and then you're like, I'm hiring some Joe to do that.
That's it though. You have to, the switch has to flip sooner or later that, okay, listen, sure, it was cool for a season, right? Like I'm not even buying the electric lawnmower. I'm buying the one you gotta push it, there's no gas or anything involved. You have
When
to realize.
Oh yeah, when I first opened, I forgot about this. When I first opened the first bookstore, I at the beginning and end of the day used to sweep the floor because I was so happy to be in my own warehouse. That stopped after like 3 months. The appeal, the gratification, the pleasure I got out of I have my own bookshop. Look at me sweeping the floor. It's mine. That waned and went away.
The How do you feel about people that buy insurance on packages? Like just because? Like, what's your limit to buy insurance on something?
Over $100 because I ship first class or
See, I'm going
ground
way higher than
advantage.
that. I'm going way higher than that, dude. I'm thinking like at least 500, maybe even $1,000.
No, I think I'm with you. I got ground advantage that covers up to $100. So anything after that, I think $500 bill would have to be right, and then the signature required. I would probably also do it 500 and higher. That being said, I shipped $1,000 item, just ground advantage, no signature, no confirmation. I think you got it. I kept the money, so there's that.
I do think we got to look at the other side of the coin too with little things is little things can differentiate you and actually cause your business to explode in a good way. And you kind of started to seeing the fruits of that with your eBay business when you had the 10,000 items. Let's say your descriptions were nobody was touching your descriptions on the face of earth. But that is a time commitment. But there are still stupid little things out there. We have some in the group, and I talk about them on YouTube. And there's the the differentiator if we're all Amazon sellers and we're just scanning media, how can we be different than the next person, right? If we're all scanning the same exact items, how can we make more money from those same exact items? And there's ways you can leverage software, understand the data a little bit more. And one big thing, I mean, it's not a big thing, a little thing is I look at my phone while I'm scanning things. And most people don't look at their phone, they just listen for the green or red in their ear. And that's kind of leveled up my business. So that little thing alone it's probably allowed me to source an extra, I don't know, in the past year, maybe 2,000 items to sell versus if I just had my phone in my pocket, I would pass on those 2,000 items every single time because you're just listening for the yes or the no basically in your ear. So there are little things that can kind of, I don't know, upgrade your business and put more money in your pocket. It's just got to be something that actually makes sense.
Right. Like I'll see items all the time. They sell 180 times plus 86 times plus, meaning at least one sells every day in a 6 month window. At least. It could be more. It could be 50 items for all I know. But I'm only seeing, I don't know, 10 new and five, or we'll say 15 used. I'm sending that in. I don't care if it's listed at $6 right now. I'm gonna lock in my price to like 9.99, 12.99, something like that. And I'm just gonna wait my turn in line because you know what, folks, it's gonna sell. There isn't enough supply to meet the demand on this item at present. So little smart things, exactly like what Mike was talking. Little micro things like that can transform your business.
Another little thing that'll transform your business is, flyers and business cards.
Oh yeah.
Why aren't you handing them out to everybody? Why aren't you putting them on every community board in your area? Why are you only relying on the Goodwill and the Salvation Army and the Savers, right? Like those little things make sense because they have the potential to turn into a big thing, right? So the little things that can potentially turn into a big thing is where your focus needs to be. And there's not many of them. I'm here to tell you. The little thing list in my life is very, very short. It's not more than half a page long if I'm writing it down.
Okay, I got a little trick for you, a little hack. So you send these emails, right? X amount will say no, X amount will say yes, but the majority of them will not even respond. So
Nobody even said no to mine. I just got no responses. It was either yes
yeah,
or no response.
yes or no response. So those no responses, here's your leverage. This is great. Now you got to be a real hustler, and honestly, you got to be pretty extroverted to do this. I am, so I don't mind doing this. For the no responses, I will go there and I will say such and such. I'm checking in to see if you got my email. I have total leverage. They didn't respond to me. I walk in, I sent you an email. I'm an important person. You didn't read it. I'd like to talk about the email you didn't read yet. The secretaries hate me when I do that. Or the person that's there that I sent the email to, they're like, let me pull it up right now, blah, blah, blah. I can initiate a conversation. I have all the power at that point. It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, you just the last two things you covered. I mean, you just put all of the secret sauce out there. So I don't know how we're going to make any money in 2025 now because you just put everything out there. But we know at the end of the day, a lot of you will still worry about things that don't matter. And I'll still sit over here and not do a damn thing besides send stuff into
I know
Amazon.
95% of the people aren't going to do what I just said.
I just like, hey, sure, if you want to do it, it's laughable to me now, but I do deep down, I do kind of feel I guess I feel bad for people that waste time on things. You know, life happens and you don't realize this until like really bad things happen, right? Like you lose a loved one or a family member or a pet, and then you maybe the switch flips that shit, I only got so much time on this planet, right? Like I should really cherish my time and spend it in a way that makes sense. And in 2024, I had a lot of loss in my life, unfortunately, with family and pets. And even before this, though, I was still the same way. Like my time, like you know me, dude, my time. If I can cut an hour out of reselling and make the same or more amount of money, so I can go spend an hour and do something I enjoy, whatever that may be, I'm all for it. And people realize this when they do deal with loss. They're like, damn, man, like I wish I had more time with that person, or I wish I had another day. Like I'd pay any amount of money in the world to have another day, with one of my cats or one of my, family members that passed away. And you realize that for like a week, and then you just get back to, okay, I'm just going to waste all my time. And I don't know, man. It's tough for me because it hits home and I've worked jobs where I've been, 50, 60 hours a week and the pay sucked and it was salary and I had to be there all the time. So for me, I'm just in the mindset and no one will ever get me out of this. This is who I am. I don't want nothing to do with it. If it's not required, even if it is required, I'm going to figure out a little way to manipulate it so it doesn't suck the life out of me or my business because I want to be happy when I do this. I want to do this for a long time and make a lot of money. And the only way I can do that is not have all the little distractions, not have all the little crap going on, and kind of think of ways where, okay, this is not required. Sure, it would be great, Johnny, if I could just magically, tissue wrap everything or put everything in a box or polybag every single item I'm sending to Amazon, even though it's not required. But that is not the case. And until that is the case, forget about it.
All right, I'm going to talk about one because I was reminded about it last week because another group I was given talking about a haul I was doing, um, and it was by the piece, and that's when you're buying by the piece, you got to count it, and there's a lot of things involved. This deal was a long-term deal, and that's just what we've been doing since the get-go. It's not how I would do business today. And thank you, Kevin, if you're listening, because I know you do listen to this. So this one's for you. He had said, why didn't you just offer a flat amount? And that is the correct methodology. Just buy it all out for a flat, I don't know. It's a room full of books, $100. No, yes, no, yes. Okay, 150. You do the haggle, a little bit of haggle. If you're doing it by the piece, you got to count it. You got to sort it. They may want to double count it to make sure it's right. A lot of time is lost there. And that is right. I have done purchases by the weight before. Well, you got to stack it. You got to make sure the container doesn't wobble. It's not touching the ground. A lot of times lost there. The best way to purchase things is just a flat amount for the whole shebang. And I'm not talking about buyout necessarily. Like put what you want in a pile. You're buying the pile of the stuff you're actually going to sell, not the junk. If you're doing a buy on junk, similar methodology, but okay, how much can I get for this? Let them talk first kind of deal. You're going to save so much time, energy, and effort doing it that way. That is the best way to do it.
Man, you just hit it on the head. You have to evolve. And I think as any business evolves, as people continue to grow, at least what I've seen in the reselling space, both on eBay and Amazon, is you get your time back. So you can either spend that time to grow your business or just spend that time to do things you enjoy, right? The people that are super successful realize, okay, there might be a period of time where it's going to suck, right? And it's going to suck for 1 year, but at the end of that year, I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z, and I'm going to be able to step back, continue to grow my business, cut out these things, cut out those things. So the little things, dude, they will sink you, but they also can make your business boom. You just have to, yet again, here we are, get around somebody. If you're in a weird spot, you need somebody to evaluate your business, get in a group, shoot somebody a message, give them a little bit of details. Everybody's going to respond to you. Even if I'm in the most rotten mood or Johnny's in the most rotten mood, you send the man a message, you send the woman a message, whoever you're messaging, and you can get a response. And most people will tell you exactly, Johnny be a lot more drill sergeant than I will be, but you will get an answer. And there's a lot of little things we kind of can cut out. So that's going to do it for this week's episode. We will talk to you all next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Resellers Mindset Podcast. Today's full episode and all previous episodes are available to all YouTube members, along with the weekly Zoom call and private Discord. Head on over to youtube.com/theusedbookguy and consider joining for as little as $2.99 a month.